Welcome back to News Geelong as we continue with the pulsating world of Geelong sport and our own flying hawk, Nathan Carey. Good evening, Nathan. What's the latest sports news?
Thanks very much, Rollo, and good evening, everyone. Well, I'm down here at Skilled Stadium for all the latest from the Geelong Football Club. But before we catch up with their coach, Chris Scott, we'll turn our attention to the Geelong and District Football League, where News Geelong's Cal Lowther caught up with Bellpost Hill's Justin Tarr after their big win over Anarchy on the weekend.
Justin, good win today. Obviously, started off pretty close in the first half, but after then you're able to run away with a pretty good victory.
Yeah, we trained for that. We worked pretty hard Tuesday, Thursdays. Sort of done a mini pre-season the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I've got another 2 weeks to go. And we're always back our fitness in, so just high intensity for 4 quarters. That's the plan.
Yeah. Obviously, forward line worked pretty well. Your form was good, and you're able to get pretty good supply from blokes like Shane Tobin and David Holzfein.
Yeah, that's right. The midfield's got really good skills, and when we put the blocks on and get them into space, there's not much backman can do really. When they put it out there, it's a perfect kick. As I said, any forward can sort of kick goals. And our midfield's dominated the last couple of weeks. Yeah. It's good.
Coming into the final rounds of the season, you obviously had a couple of young blokes in. You're soon going to get Matt Jovanovic back and a couple of other players. You're looking forward to getting your strongest side in the last couple of rounds?
Yeah, that's right. It's actually going to be tough for selection when we get our full side. I think we've got 4 or 5 out. We've had that every week. But the guys that have come in weren't our best 22 at the start, but they probably are now. So they give us a bit more run, enthusiasm, and it's going to be tough for us. But obviously, Jovanovic is straight in. Good player, and adds another dimension down there. Hopefully he comes good next week or so, and we're right from there, I think.
Yeah. All right, fantastic result today and good game yourself.
No worries, thanks guys.
Thanks very much, boys. Well, now it's time to throw over to the racing world, and who better to do that than my good mate, John Dunn.
Last Friday afternoon at Geelong, more than 220 people from the insurance industry came together to celebrate Jai Roderick Memorial Race Day and, of course, the Winter Synthetic Challenge Final. And early in the day, punters were off to a good start when the Pat Howland-trained filly Benaria, well, she ran up to her good placing at Sandown on debut and was far too good in the 2-year-old filly's maiden plate.
Here's Benaria now starting to join in, out 3 wide, starting to come after Schellenberg. Schellenberg and Benaria, who really digs in for the fight now. Schellenberg, Benaria edging it down. Benaria takes the front and Maeve just got there.
The Glenn Thornton-trained 3-year-old galloper French Cook was building up to a win, backed into favourite, and he didn't let punters down with a popular hometown victory.
Now towards the 200 metres, it's Federation Square, and now French Cook coming at him very sharply, but here's God's Secret lengthening him behind. French Cook goes to Federation Square. God's Secret continues to make up ground on French Cook, who was nursed along and now asked, and he found sufficiently French Cook, and he'll break through today. French Cook by a half on God's Secret.
David Hayes is the leading trainer here at Geelong, and he added another win to his tally when Ebony Rock produced a great form reversal to take out the Jai Roderick Memorial.
Fantastic chick down to the 200, now asks for her effort. She leads by 3/4, Democrat, and Ebony Rock making a race of it. Fantastic chick, well, she's now being swamped by Ebony Rock. Fantastic chick tries to give Ebony Rock the outside. Democrat diving through Ebony Rock.
The big one of the day was the Winter Synthetic Challenge, and Guru Bay, he was the popular, heavily backed in the betting ring, but the locally trained galloper Into the Sun got the money with Jamie Mott in the saddle.
Is this the one down the outside and mimics from the back? Ranjan from Guru Bay, who now pounces. Into the Sun's matching it though. It's Guru Bay and Into the Sun. They've come away from Ranjan. Guru Bay, Into the Sun. The locals start to cheer. Guru Bay, Into the Sun, Into the Sun.
And that's the wrap-up from Jai Roderick Memorial and the Winter Challenge final race day here at Geelong last Friday. We're on again on Friday, and I would have thought this is another job well done. Back to you, Nathan.
Thanks very much, JD. Well, now that racing is done, it's time to catch up with Chris Scott, the coach of the Geelong Footy Club. Now, Scotty, Alan Christensen has finally been awarded the Rising Star nomination. Do you think it's overdue? How do you view his season so far?
I love the way Alan's approached the media as well. It's just fantastic to hear him say he's a Geelong player, he's not an individual, and that doesn't mean as much to him as it does playing for Geelong. But he well and truly deserves this. It's a small step along the way. I think a bigger accolade for Alan is that he's forced his way into our best 22, which is no mean feat for a 5-game player.
Now, a few boys pulled up a bit sore on the weekend. Scotty, how are they feeling right now?
Yeah, well, Cameron Ling, Steve Johnson, Brad Ottens, we think would be available. Shannon Burns is unlikely at this stage. He's got a really minor calf injury, but it's hard to think that he'd be able to prove to us that he's absolutely perfect, and if he's not that, he won't play. Besides that, we're in pretty good shape. James Podsiadly got a knock to his head, and Matthew Stokes is in a bit of a similar situation. As always with those sort of things, we take our time and make a decision towards the end of the week because while they're in good shape now, concussion-type symptoms can deteriorate quite quickly.
Finally, Scotty, the round 24 fixture has been released. You're taking on Collingwood on Friday night. How does that sit with you?
Yeah, that's great. We would have accepted any scenario, but yeah, Collingwood Friday night, round 24, that's good. Yeah, it helps. Look, I didn't mean to be flippant about it. Like Friday, Saturday, 7-8 day break, I don't think it matters that much.
Thanks very much for your time, Scotty. We'll catch up with you again on Friday night to talk about your big clash with Melbourne on the weekend. Well, that's it for me. It's back to you, Rollo, and if this weather keeps up, I think I might come into the studio on Friday night. Back to you, mate.
Thank you, Nathan. Can't wait until you grace us with your company on Friday. Might even bring in the autograph book. Now to the Geelong and Surf Coast weather for the next 6 days. It's a very good evening to our scintillating Sophie Miller, comfortable and warm in our News Geelong studios. Good evening, Sophie. How's the winter weather continuing?
Thank you, Graham, and good evening to our News Geelong viewers on another cold winter evening as we take a look at our predicted weather conditions across the next 6 days. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be partly cloudy with a top of 15. Friday will see the cloud continue in and around Geelong and the Surf Coast area with an expected top of 17. Starting off the 5th Saturday of July, we will see cloud with a little patchy rain later in the day and a top of 16. Again, for the 5th Sunday in July, it will be partly cloudy with an expected top of 17. To start off the first week in August, Monday will see the partly cloudy conditions continue with a top of 18. Tuesday is expected to see patchy rain with cloud in and around Geelong and Surf Coast areas with a top of 16. Today we saw areas of frost and patchy fog this morning with mostly sunny day and a top of 14. That's the weather outlook for tonight. So continue to rug up and keep warm. Until Friday evening, enjoy your evening. And it's back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Sophie. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong this Wednesday evening. To Lenny Alford, the Superman man up at Newtown and Chewell Footy Club, remember, take your time and smell the flowers. From all the team at News Geelong, have a pleasant evening and a very good night.